Hello, this is Unlimited Splash, where I draft too many colors and try to get away with it. Today, we're doing what I call Buildaround Masterclass. As we jump into this premier draft, we are going to try to make an avatar deck that is like nothing you've ever seen before. Look, I know we're at a pretty late stage in this format, and you've probably seen so many avatar decks that you know what a good avatar deck looks like. Even if you've only drafted, 10 times in this format, or especially if you've drafted 200 times, you probably have a pretty set card evaluations, a pretty clear idea of whether your deck looked good or not. What we're going to do in this build around episode is look for cards that you have never seen played before and try to craft a deck around them that actually works in draft. So we're not trying to be silly and go 0-3. We're trying to be silly and go maybe 3-3, 3 wins and 3 losses, or 4 wins. What we're specifically looking for is F level rares or mythics, alternate modes on pretty good rares that are so outrageous, maybe they require one of every color and then some to activate, or, and this is the ideal, bonus sheet cards that you've never seen played before in Avatar. So let's see what the packs give us, and let's try to build around it. Okay, White Lotus tile I think is, it could be what we're talking about. It's absolutely an F level mythic, a card that is basically unplayable. But I think it's actually too unplayable. So the art, as I always say, the better part of splashing and the better part of building around is discretion. So I think we are going to take, and Boiling Rock Rider, it's a kind of a mediocre, very finicky card, but it's not exactly a super exciting build around. We all know what Boiling Rock Rider can do, and what it can do is pretty good. You just need the allies to support it. But I also don't think it's such a bomb that you have to take it here. I think what we're going to do is we'll just start off with a nice, responsible pick. There are a few different cards that I would look at, one being the Firebending Lesson, and just a solid common or uncommon. Allies at Last is a comparably good removal spell, but I think Firebending Lesson beats it on flexibility and cost. The other thing is Enablers. So Forecasting Fortune Teller is a good example of a great card in a build-around deck because it's inherently powerful. It has 3 toughness, so it's a really good blocker. It's a 2-drop, which is a responsible pick, and it makes card advantage, which helps you dig to your picks. And then finally, dual lands are always good so that you can actually find the cards that you picked to build around. Because the worst part of making a build around deck is when you have a bunch of not very good cards in your deck that synergize with your build around, and then you don't even see the build around. So tutoring and draw effects are really good in build around decks. Here, we started out with a good solid red removal spell, and I think let's just take maybe the best red removal spell in the set, at least at common or uncommon, Iroh's Demonstration. We're not really beginning the build around yet, but UA, you could argue that maybe there's something funny you could do with the water bend ability here, but I think that's just not really a very exciting build around. We're looking for something cool. We're discerning people of taste, and so our build around needs to be something properly cool. So I'm going to snap up this Iroh's Demonstration, and hopefully the packs are going to give us something fun. So I did see someone do something really cool with Lo and Lee, which is they had that Rakdos 7-mana trample indestructible haste guy, and they tutored it up with Lo and Lee because it turns out that's a noble creature. So if we had that, then Lo and Lee would be a very interesting direction to take things in. So, but we don't, we don't have that. So let's forget about that. I think probably the best card in the pack is Waterbending Lesson. I might take one of the bad red cards in order to just remain in red, but I don't think none of them looks particularly good to me. So I'm actually just going to grab the dual land. We really want to be able to play whatever our silly build around ends up being. So I'm just going to snap up a North Pole Gates, and hopefully that will leave us a little bit more flexible, not just to play build arounds, but also to play inherently extremely powerful cards like Knowledge Seeker. So Knowledge Seeker is the best card in this pack, bar nothing. There is good removal, Deadly Precision, Path to Redemption. I do see a little bit more good red, like Yu Nurtures and then Abandoned Attachments I like quite a lot, but Knowledge Seeker is just on another level from all of these cards. So we're going to snap that up. It's another card that helps us dig to, again, whatever our build around ends up being. And then I think, I'll take Katara. Okay, so maybe we're looking at some kind of an is it lessons spell shell around the build around that we hopefully get. So far we really haven't seen any interesting cards. One card that I would love to build around that maybe this deck could support is Tiger Seal, the 3/3 that taps on your turn and it only untaps if you draw 2. Here I think I'm very happy to take an Octopus Form. So basically we're just doing nuts and bolts limited fundamentals. We unfortunately haven't even seen one bonus sheet card yet. The only thing we saw is the tile, which I think is just so bad discretion is the better part of building around, as I always say. So you can't just take the absolute worst card in the set and try to make it work. In this situation, I mean, how much worse is Cunning Maneuver or Giant Koi than Kyoshi Warriors, which probably Kyoshi Warriors and Water Tribe Captain are the best cards in the pack. It's possible that red is really not that open. We took a Firebending Lesson pick 1 and an Iris Demonstration pick 2. So maybe I'll take the Giant Koi just to hedge my bets, because the only clear signal I've gotten is the Knowledge Seeker, and Katara is something of a signal. And I guess the blue-white dual land. So let's take Giant Koi just to hedge and see what we get here. Well, I think we could take Seismic Sense. It's probably the best card in the pack. And it's also Cycle of Renewal, which I think is a lot worse. So I think let's take Seismic Sense. And, well, we're kind of set up for... I mean, we have a lot of pieces for Teamer Lessons here so far, let's say. And then in this pack, I mean, I do quite like Walltop Sentries. Again, the White Lotus tile is just not even good enough to build around. I have pondered it. I have pondered how to make it work, and it just doesn't make sense. So I'm going to snap up this Walltop Sentries. And in this pack, I might just take the creature. I mean, probably Cunning Maneuver. Definitely Cunning Maneuver is the best card. Okay, why don't I just take the best card? I mean, Earth Village Ruffians is bad enough that I don't think that favoring it for board presence purposes even really makes that much sense. Well, we're really hoping to get something cool here. We kind of have the start of a fun Teamer Lessons deck. Well, I guess I'll just take the cheaper creature then. I mean, I guess technically Turtle Duck is the cheapest creature there, but I'll take Seismic Sense. Well, we actually have a totally sweet Lessons count, if that matters for anything. It's not exactly build-around material, but Jasmine Dragon Tea Shop. I mean, that's a fun one. It's a good card, but is it a build-around? No, not really. So I think we'll take Gran. Again, you really want lots of digging. I do think that blue looks pretty open. Gran's amazing with Knowledge Seeker. It activates your Knowledge Seeker every time it attacks. And Gran goes great with Lessons, of course. So we're happy to snap up this Gran. Still looking for the awesome bonus sheet card to build around, but yeah, we're happy to take this. I mean, maybe we could, in some universe, possibly we could wheel Watery Grass, Lightning Strike, or the Boulder. So I'll just snap up this Gran. With Gran, I think you really want combat tricks. Okay, here, I mean, Firebending Student is kind of cool. You can do like double strike tricks on Firebending Student, but I'm not sure that really counts as a build around. I think probably I'll just take Dragonfly Swarm. It's going to be so sick in my deck. Dragonfly Swarm, if you draft a really heavy non-creature deck, this is the kind of a card that can just go off. The 2-drop, there's a lot to be said for the 2-drop, but I think the inherent power of Dragonfly Swarm is... Now we're getting past Ong at the Crossroads. Well, we pretty much have to play that, right? I mean, we're already in 2 of those colors, and we have part of a white splash, so I guess I can't really complain about being past Ong at the Crossroads, and we'll just snap it up, and hardly a build around, but... Well, I guess that card kind of is a build around, but it's hardly an exciting... fun, strange, quirky build around. I wonder if in this situation I just take the Airship Engine Room. I do think we're going to be heavy red pretty much no matter what we do. Like, it's pretty hard to imagine not playing Firebending Lesson and Iris Demonstration. Could take Quench, could take Walltop Sentries, but I think I'm going to grab the Engine Room because with this setup, we really do need good mana, and specifically, we need to always hit blue. Okay, here I'm probably just taking Messenger Hawk. I mean, I guess I could take Kyoshi Village or Ong's Journey. Maybe that's actually better for me. I mean, Kyoshi Village in particular gets us... I think actually Ong's Journey, if I have the Lessons payoffs, might even be better because... Yeah, Kyoshi Village helps specifically with the White Splash, but Ong's Journey helps with like whatever you're missing. It's better to have a land fix you than to have to spend a card to fix yourself, but I think Ong's Journey is going to be fine for us. Fine. Not great, but fine. It's not really looking like our lane is super open here. What I'll probably do is take Fire Sages. It's looking like maybe Boros Aggro is the place to be. Weird that whatever is the exact opposite of Boros Aggro, that's what we are. Well, we failed to build around, but our deck is looking fun anyways, isn't it? I wonder if I just take Bender's Waterskin here. I don't think Air Nomad Legacy is doing anything for us. Origin of Metal Bending is sweet, but I think I maybe just want to have, good mana. So let's take the Bender's Waterskin. Not the best card to play ever, but we have 2 6-drops and an Ong at the Crossroads. So I think it could make sense to just grab that. I mean, this is some unlimited splash stuff. This is some unlimited splashing. Oh, sorry, I'll consolidate a little so that all my cards are visible. Our curve is looking terrible. But, you know, seismic sense is kind of something to do on turn 1. It finds you your other stuff. Okay, I actually really don't hate the airship engine room. Getting another airship engine room sounds really good. So let's just grab that. And here, I guess I take the Foggy Swamp. I mean, wow, white is looking open. Am I just totally in the wrong lane? Should I just pivot to blue, white, green? I don't know. My red is really good, though. Firebending Lesson, Iris Demonstration, and Dragonfly Swarm. I think, you know, what's around late pack 2 does not necessarily indicate what's going to be around early pack 3 because it's different people passing to you. So I always try not to overreact to the last few picks of pack 2. What mattered way more was the last few picks of pack 1. All right, here we got our probably our absolute best dual land, I think. And that's a really good sign. It means that other people are not in green-blue based super splashy. And we're also nearing the end. Ooh, Cycle of Renewal is a great one for us. Yip Yip is such a good card to be left in here, but okay. We're probably nearing the end of the tap lands that we want. Once you get to like 5, 6 tap lands, you start really risking missing your being able to play your cards on curve. So I so far have not delivered on the build aroundiness. I think, you know, by pack 3, if you haven't found your build around, it's time to just draft a normal limited deck and try again next time. So, you know, but I think we have a really fun looking deck, don't we? So I'm not too worried about losing out on the fun equity that you usually get from building around. Blue was very cut this pack. I think I pretty much, other than Geyser Leaper, did not take a single blue card. Maybe, no, I'll take the Geyser Leaper. I think it's pretty clear. It's pretty clear that we're in some kind of teamery situation. So obviously I want to play Azula, but that's just the farthest thing from my mind right now. Boomerang Basics can be sweet, but I'm not sure that we have anything that really... I guess you can Boomerang Basics your Ong for value. You can Boomerang Basics a card when you have Ong out. That's kind of cool. But I think we're so desperate for 2-drops, and especially high-quality 2-drops. I'm not even sure that we can play this Fire Sages, because we're probably base blue-green. I'm just going to take the Fortune Teller. It's a really good card, but more importantly, we desperately need it for what we're doing. Oh, Katara's kind of cool. Katara doubles Ong's trigger. Is this a build around? Could this be the build around that I promised? Could this be the build around? Yeah. All right. I guess it's Katara. I guess it is Katara. Sure. I'll take Katara. Maybe this deck is a Katara build around and we didn't even know it. Another White Lotus tile. Come on. Couldn't the Mythics have been something like quirky that has power instead of something terrible that has no power? I'll take another Forecasting Fortune Teller. It's totally sweet with Katara. Here, I guess, yeah, I think Raucous Audience is pretty good. I would actually like to build around Beifong's Bounty Hunters. I had a cool idea the other day at Friday Night Magic, actually, where I had 3 Judis in my deck, and I saw a Beifong's Bounty Hunters, and I realized Judi can sack a creature, and then you Earthbend, and you get that creature's, you know, power and toughness back. But you can't keep sacking the lands, unfortunately, because Beifong only activates on non-land creatures. But I'll just take the 2-drop that ramps me. That sounds important. And here, I mean, this is a good land for us. It's not that much else that's good for us. I guess Suki is kind of cool because when you attack with Suki, Katara would double its attack. I think I want that more than I want the 4th tap land. We'll play a few planes. I don't think it's a huge issue for us. So now I'm at 25 cards. I will definitely be taking Shared Roots here. I mean, North Pole Gates is good too, but this is a good pack for us. I mean, Quench, Katara, North Pole Gates. We'd be happy to play any of those. But I think Shared Roots is going to be the card. I don't really have lesson payoffs. I wonder if someone else ended up in lessons. No, because I'm seeing a lot of lessons, a lot of good lessons late. I just think we just happened not to see the lesson payoffs, which, you know, that happens sometimes. Can I possibly play Hama? I mean, obviously I want to play Hama. I don't think I can play pretty much anything else here. Maybe it's a Turtle Duck, honestly. But I have no synergies with the Turtle Duck, which is pretty terrible. Can I play Hama? It's triple blue in my deck. I don't think I can play Hama. I'll take the turtle deck just in case I need it for curve out and not getting beaten down purposes. Here's the Twin Blades that could have gone with the 2/2. This card I've thought so much about building around, and it's just not possible. You cannot fix your lands using this card because your opponent can just choose to give you whichever lands you already have. So not going to be trying Elemental Teachings today. I guess I'll just take Earthbending Lesson for no particular reason. I think the Earth Rumble Wrestlers is respectable. It might actually replace a Foggy Swamp Finebender. These guys won me a booster box, so I can never complain about them again. I'll just tidy up what I have a little bit here. Yeah, this probably looks like the deck. I'll cut one more card after this. Another Shared Roots sounds good. I mean, we're a little bit over the top on Shared Roots, but this could probably replace Ong's Journey, to be honest. And it's an actual ramp card. And then I probably do play Sabertooth Moose Lion. And cut, I guess, something like, maybe cut a 3-drop. Ooh, I will definitely be playing Badger Mole over Foggy Swamp Vinebender. And now maybe you cut one of the Mooses, and maybe I can cut Bender's Waterskin. And I'd probably rather have Cycle of Renewal than the Waterskin, even though I don't have any like landfall triggers or anything. Yeah, this makes sense to me. I have no mill, so I think I can play 1 Plains, and it will be okay. For my 2 white pips, but I have double Shared Roots and a Cycle of Renewal. Maybe it's 2 Plains. Maybe I should be on 2 Plains. It is a little awkward to not have any 4-drops because 4 is what Shared Roots ramps you into. So I might try to find a way to squeeze one more 4-drop into this deck. And a Deserter's Disciple. All right, let's clean this up and see what we've got. Okay, this deck looks super fun. It looks totally sweet. So I actually have good mana. Well, not good mana, but I mean, I have 9 green sources, which is fantastic. And I think I have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 blue sources, which is great. And green gets me Seismic Sense, Shared Roots, and Cycle of Renewal. So it should be my key to unlocking all the other colors. And yeah, other than that, basically just a pretty straight up ramp plan with Ong as the major payoff, but you know, you can also just ramp into a Sabertooth Moose Lion, and that's definitely a way to win games. So yeah, I'm excited to see how this goes. We didn't really succeed in the build around plan, but you know, we just didn't really see any cool pieces, and along the way we managed to assemble a really fun, splashy, semi-bomby deck. So hey, you can still, you know, you have to play what the packs give you. That's the thing. You can't force it too hard. We could have done the double White Lotus tile, and then where would we be at? So at the end of the day, you can only do what you open in Magic. You can only play what you open in Draft, right? But I think we ended up with something really fun anyways. All right. So the opponent's on mono white, perhaps? Could be. Pretending Poxbearers. Lines up really well against my Firebending Lesson, and also against my Knowledge Seeker, actually. But we have a Wall-Top Sentries for that. Katara will be nice. So once I have Katara, I can start buffing Knowledge Seeker if the Knowledge Seeker survives here. I wonder if they're on white-black. If people have been playing a lot of the mono, I feel like I see a lot of the mono white plan with like Team Avatar and then the whatever is the 5-mana sorcery that makes a bunch of 1-drops. 1-drops equal to the number of planes you have. Oh, they might be Jeskai. Interesting. Or they are Jeskai. All right. Play a land, and starting next turn, I can start activating Katara. What do they have? Yip Yip or Enter the Avatar State? Then there's also like Destroy Target Attacking Creature, Airbend a permanent you control. Okay, it was just a land cycler. Didn't think about that. Did not think about that. Hakoda. So I'm still not able to Firebending Lesson that, but I can soon. So I think I just play a tap land, play Katara. Unfortunately, now I cannot be activating Katara next turn. I have to Firebend Hakoda, because Hakoda just absolutely goes off. If you can start ripping multiple allies in a row off the top of your deck, you just take over. Hopefully my Wall-Top Sentries is saving me some pain here, though. Okay, yeah, I was going to say if they don't tap here, then I need to worry about quench. It'll quench you, but they didn't have it. Okay, so it's a pretty simple firebending lesson for us here, right? Just zap that Hakoda for 5. 5 damage to a creature. They'll sack it to give all their stuff +0/+5 and indestructible. It's okay, we probably weren't going to attack anyways. So goodbye to Hakoda. And we have a bit of a board stall, but I mean, as long as Katara is living, I don't feel so bad about this. You know, their Vindictive Warding can shoot damage over the top, but if Katara is buffing herself and Knowledge Seeker, that's pretty good for us, and drawing me cards. But if they can remove Katara, then it's anybody's game. Then maybe they're even slightly favored here, I'm not sure. Okay, so I'm gonna play a land. I could tap 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I kind of want to Shared Roots and then tap Knowledge Seeker and Katara. Yeah, let's try that. So I'm going to tap Katara, Knowledge Seeker. I mean, if they can remove my wall top sentries, you know, it's a pity, but it's not like I'm facing that much damage in this onslaught. 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, that's a good chunk of damage, but now I'm going to have like a bunch of cards back. I'm going to have 3/4 Katara and a 3/2 Knowledge Seeker. So I will take probably just take a Plains here. And plus, if they kill wall top sentries, I get a reimbursement of 2 life, unless they can somehow exile it. They definitely get to attack with Union Archers. But I really like the idea of having a 3/4 blocker on this board. I think Katara is giving me redundancy in having good blockers. All right, playing a mountain. Cave of Two Lovers is fine. No concerns here. And we're going to get to see their last card. Ooh, Treetop Freedom Fighters. All right, so it's not removal. Wall top sentries is doing so much work. Yep, Union Archers gets in. No blocks for sure. You just take that. All right. Our second Shared Roots, not exactly what we want to see. So let's see. If I play Suki, yeah, I think they would have to top deck a removal spell. So I think that what I want to do is play Suki, play Shared. No, because if I play Shared Roots here, then, oh, I have an interesting mana management situation. The other thing I can do is play Dragonfly Swarm. I kind of do want the counter on Knowledge Seeker and Katara. Having really big creatures sounds good here. So maybe I play Dragonfly Swarm, tap Dragonfly Swarm, Katara, and 4 lands. And then I'm leaving back some blockers. I can play another land. Okay. Yeah, because I really want the counters. So actually then I'm just going to tap Katara and 5 lands. I want the counters on both of these 2 creatures more than I want the Suki out this turn. Let's see. Ability triggers. So Katara would start getting double counters. That's pretty cool. So I'm going to go with no attacks. I think I'm winning. If the game goes longer, I think I'm more likely to win. I think my opponent wants games to be fast. And I have a flyer. I have the bigger creatures and a flyer. So I don't really see a good reason to attack. Okay, so they drew like a Yip Yip or something. I think let's block, I don't know, Treetop Freedom Fighters with Dragonfly Swarm. If they kill my Swarm, is that the card that I most want to die? Maybe it's just Knowledge Seeker, actually. Because that gives me a clue back, and it's not a flyer. Yeah, maybe it's Knowledge Seeker. And I don't really want my wall top sentries to die. And they more want their Pretending Pox Spirits to die. It could be Fancy Footwork. Fancy Footwork would be a little brutal here. Do I just take the 5? I kind of want to preserve my life total, though. I think that's important. So let's do this. I'm playing into Fancy Footwork a little bit. But if it's Yip Yip, I don't feel so bad because I get a card reimbursement for Dragonfly Swarm dying. Oh, what is this? What did they get? There's no board wipe, is there? Oh, Avatar's Wrath. Could be Avatar's Wrath. Mongoose Lizard. Killing the Dragonflies. Killing the Knowledge Seeker. Okay, I see. I see. Well, I'm glad I have wall top sentries for that. Oh, maybe I can find Ong. That would be cool. That would be really cool. I guess I could shared roots before size makes sense to get to look at one more card, but that probably doesn't matter. All right, I did find Ong. That's sweet. Yeah, size makes sense with Ong in the deck is pretty awesome. So let's play that. And let's grab, oh, a whiff. Oof, oof. You do not love to see it. Well, I probably attack with my Dragonfly Swarm. Do I? Is it even worth attacking? I wonder. Kind of just want to flip Ong. They're gonna come crashing in next turn, so why should I even attack? Now, would I rather shared roots or draw a card? I think let's probably shared roots. I think I want all the mana I can possibly get my hands on. And no attacks. I know I'm being extremely passive. I just really think I'm favored in the long run here. Okay, you get a 3/3. This card is so good. It's 2 2/2s and a 3/3 and a land. Unreal. We thought Call of the Mountain Chocobo was good when it was just a 2/2. Well, I guess that one was 2 2/2s and 2 lands. And this one's a 3/3 and 2 1/1s. So this one's technically a little more stats. Okay, goodbye to Airship Engine Room. They're digging. That suggests to me that they're digging for something. I could have had Katara out and double triggered Ong. I could have lived my dreams. I didn't dream big enough. That's the problem. I only wish that I had dreamed big enough. All right, I'll go in with Dragonfly Swarm and Ong, I guess, because they're gonna block one of them, and then I'll Octopus Swarm it. Maybe I just attack with the Dragonfly Swarm. Is that too ridiculously passive? If I do that, then Ong gets to flip at their upkeep. Let's go in with both. Do I need Ong to survive? Yeah, I actually do need Ong to survive. Let's go in with just Dragonfly Swarm. I'll trade. I'm actually happy to trade. Flipped Ong still has flying, so yep, I'm happy to trade. Basically, I want one of my creatures to die, and this is the best one to die because it lets me draw a card when it dies. All right, so Ong, this would double Ong's trigger. This is gonna double the landfall trigger. That's cool. Now, is it overextending to also play Kyoshi or Suki? Sorry. I mean, yeah, there are blue pseudo board wipes, so let's not overextend here. Probably Octopus Swarm. Ooh, I'm taking a damage. Octopus Swarm is probably most likely to, I mean, most likely to save Ong, but it also might be saving wall top sentries here. Soka, all right. So your allies all have prowess, yeah. Yeah, that could be a big deal. That could definitely be a big deal. All right, so I'm going to activate Katara to draw a card. Love Katara. The double Katara plane is working great for us. Oh, Iroh's Demonstration. It's interesting. I think I try it. They might just have... If they have a non-creature spell... Okay, maybe first I try to dig for removal for Soka. So is it better to deal 1 to everything? In which case, if they have a non-creature spell, everything lives? Or to just kill Soka? I think it's better to just kill Soka. I don't think I care that much about the 1/1s. If they don't have a non-creature spell to play right now, then dealing 1 to everything is better. But if they do, then them casting that is just a blowout. They don't have Corrupt Court Official mana, so let's just slap that one down. And go next, and then I should get 2 triggers, courtesy of Katara doubling Ong's stuff. So I'll put that there, and then, sure, let's make a 4/4. You don't have reach. And then I'll attack with Ong. Yeah, I don't see how I get punished for this attack. All right. Octopus Form. Resolve. In for 5. bonk. So this guy has vigilance and haste. Yeah, okay. Do I play Suki? Feels pretty good because I don't think I should be playing against a board wipe here. I think I'm just giving up too much equity if I do that. I think playing around a board wipe is kind of asking for pain. Ong the Last Airbender, airbending my Ong? Okay. So now I get 2 enters triggers from it. That's kind of sweet. I do understand it's like they had to deal with that. All right, and then at my end step, activate everybody. Draw a card. Okay. I'll play Ong and get double Ong triggers. How many cards do I have left? 13. All right, double Ong trigger. Katara plus Ong is sweet. Is that a build around? I'm gonna say that's a build around. Doubling the forecasting fortune teller. That's so awesome. Okay, Katara. Let's call this a Katara build around deck. That's so cool. Doubling the forecasting fortune teller. Bring in another forecasting fortune teller and double it again. I could bring in Earth Rumble Wrestlers. Yeah, no, I want 4 clues. If you love Magic as much as I do, click subscribe in the description. This is so awesome. Okay, well, I guess maybe I'll crack some clues here, don't you think? I guess I also have Suki, double Suki trigger, making her a 10-4. That's so cool. How many cards do I have left? 10? Yeah, let's just draw all of them. Let's just draw everything. Oh, Giant Koi. Yeah, I don't mind if I do cast a Giant Koi. So don't tap anything else. Let's just go in with Suki. That was so cool. Play Ong, double the Ong triggers. Rip off 2 forecasting fortune tellers. Each fortune teller makes 2 clues. And then Suki goes in with two 1/1s, being a 10-4. I mean, they can just trade off a Mongoose Lizard, but the logic of this attack is now I have Ong at the crossroads. Flipping. I accept. So if they had a board wipe, then they probably Suki's just gonna deal with each 1/1 in turn. They probably would have yeah. If they had a board wipe, they probably would have blocked these 1/1. So I'm not exactly playing around a board wipe, but I think I still want to be a little bit cautious. Let's maybe, do I tap Katara here? Let's tap Katara to get a card. 1, 2, 3. I wouldn't mind having a 6/7 Katara. Oh, this is so good. Oh, Katara, the Fearless, MVP. All right, this is a successful build around. Now I feel it is, because you probably haven't seen Katara do this before. Maybe you have. If you have, lucky you. I haven't. I definitely have not. All right, end the turn, double Katara's triggers, so she becomes a 6/7. Double the Ong trigger, so it double transforms, which means nothing. Sorry, I had to sneeze there, so I paused, but you didn't really miss anything. Ong transformed, and they drew a card. Legend of Yang Chen. Oh, yeah. Oh, man, they can almost deck me. Okay, no more drawing for me. No more drawing cards. I need to stop drawing cards, please. No, they get rid of my Ong, Destined Savior? No way. Yeah. Yeah, okay. All right, I do need the Giant Koi. They can almost deck me. Yeah, I'm having trouble converting this game, which is kind of funny because I thought I have like tons of huge cards. So enough playing around board wipes. It's time to just win. So I'm going to airbend onto the airship engine room, or earthbend onto the airship engine room, go in with Katara bending prodigy and airship engine room. Now I could also attack with some 1/1s and 2/2s and various stuff. I'm about to play a Giant Koi. So yeah, maybe I just attack with everything except Katara the Fearless, something like that. Does that give them too much value? What happens if I do that? They can block Ong onto Forecasting Fortune Teller. They can block Mongoose Lizard onto a 1/3. Yeah, I think I go in with everything except the... Go in with something like this. Now, they're representing 5, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 damage. So they're representing more than enough to kill me. But I'm actually going to still have 3 blockers, 4 blockers. I kind of want to not attack with wall top sentries. Oh, but if wall top sentries dies, then I actually gain life. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I can't play Giant Koi and Raucous Audience. The Last Airbender does reset their life total. I do like the idea of pushing 1, 2, 3, 4. Some extra damage. If they play a lesson, this is a huge gift to them because Ong just blocks a fortune teller. Okay, I think I'm gonna go. I know I've been pretty passive this game. I'm gonna go with this slightly less ambitious attack. But I do soon need to start just pressing my advantage. Very soon. They're gonna draw 3, find some stuff. Hopefully not finding a board wipe. That would be my nightmare. Whoa. Yeah, well, they can't kill Katara, so I guess it makes sense. Terrible suggestion, Arena. I think I'll choose to kill the Mongoose Lizard, please. All right, we'll get double trigger. Triple trigger of the airship engine room somehow, because it got earthbent onto 3 times, I guess. Double trigger on Katara. I will play the Giant Koi. Hopefully they don't find a board wipe. If they do, it's not just anybody's game, it's their game specifically. But I think having the extra attacker, I just need to force them to have a board wipe. I'll play meditation pools. It might be what they have. If they do, they're a gamer. GG to them. End turn. Double +1s. And then next turn we're attacking with everything. Absolutely. No questions asked. All right, I draw 3, you draw 3. I assume they're going to do it. Digging for their board wipe. Don't Avatar's Wrath me. I mean, they're playing such an aggressive deck. I don't think they're going to have Wrath. But we'll see. We'll see what they've got. Could be a lot of things. Could be a lot of things. Maybe I should have been more aggressive. It was just, I couldn't really find my moments. Maybe I do need like a little bit more of a robust top end. Am I a little bit heavy on the fixing? And maybe I could cut the 3 mana fixer. Appa. So you can airbend Legend of Yangchen and get rid of my Giant Koi. That's probably what they're going to do. Airbend Ong and speed bump me. Yeah. Okay. I guess I want to flicker Katara. Okay, yeah, I have like a lot of good cards. So let's draw a card. I think it's worth it, even though I'm close to decking. Actually, maybe I probably just have enough to win. I think the realistic way that I lose is actually not by damage, it's by decking. So let's not do that. Okay, it can get airbent. I accept. I reluctantly accept. Do I just win here now? I think so. Okay, I'm just gonna pause and I'm just gonna count carefully. Okay, so basically the situation is if they have octopus form, they can survive at 1, but I think the blocks are not good for them. So I'm gonna start by waterbending my Koi and attacking with everything. Actually, you know what? Even before that, I'm gonna Seismic Sense. I can fail to find if I want to. Earth Rumble Wrestlers is an interesting one. I might just want that. Yeah, I'll grab that. Actually, no. Let's fail to find. Let's fail to find. All right, I'm going to Waterbend 3. I'm just really concerned that they have Octopus form to survive this attack, because that would give Ong lifelink. It might be like why they left exactly 1 blue up. So that's what I'm anticipating. Like, yeah, Ong blocks wall top sentries and Octopus form. Well, no, maybe not. Oh, maybe you Octopus form Appa and you get lifelink. Okay, all right. I overthought the situation. They didn't have it. All right, good game 1. Katara did a lot of work. Victory, and we are rolling on to game number 2 with our Katara the Fearless build around that we didn't realize was a Katara the Fearless build around until we saw it go off. All right, so here we go. Okay, my friends, we have a game and we have a pretty good hand. Yeah, I like this hand. It has an amazing 2-drop. It has a future. Knowledge Seeker has no synergy with this hand, but we have synergy with it in the deck, so maybe we'll draw into some. All right, so play the color that I'm missing. Well, I'm also missing red, but you know what I mean. My cat is running interference by causing trouble. Assisting the opponent for some reason, even though I'm the one who feeds him. I think I like wall top sentries here, actually. I don't know. Cycle of Renewal is sweet. Because that ramps me to 4, and then next turn I get to play Badger Mole. That's pretty sweet. I'm going to offer the most ridiculous trade ever. The thing is, Knowledge Seeker reimburses me with a clue. I'm guessing they're an aggressive deck, so they might not want to trade their 2-drop. This is a lesson from chess. Aggressive players don't want to trade their queens. They want to checkmate you with their queen. So if you offer to trade material early with an aggressive player, you can often get equity that way because they're probably not going to accept the trade, even if I don't know what would be good for them. Obviously, only they know what's good for them. But even in situations where most players would view it as a positive trade for them, I think I want the second blue. They might just value the ability to like pressure you and put damage down so much that they don't even trade when most people would. All right, and I will probably put this on the forest, I think, because I'm about to play another green source, and I might be about to play a card that costs double blue, so I don't want to use up one of my islands on that. So the ramp is, you know, should be pretty good to represent this mid-range threat against an aggro deck. Although we don't exactly know what they've got. They might just sold out Badger Mole and Kraken. So, okay, they're going to Firebend. This puts them at 5 mana, which means they can put 1 counter on. So I'll trade Badger Mole plus half of your turn for Fire Sages. I think that's a good trade for me, right? I'm not miscounting here, am I? You have 3 red. You would need 4 red and 6. You have 3 red and 2 other mana, which is 5. You would need 4 red and 6 mana to put 2 counters on it. All right. Yeah, very happy with this. I feel like I'm ahead in this situation. Let's see what else you've got for 2 mana. Corrupt Court Official, maybe? I'm holding a land. But it would mean I can't play Giant Koi next turn. Combustion Technique. Wow. Exile. Oof. I mean, yeah. Good job. All right, well, I'm going to play the Moose Lion over the Koi, I think, just because it's more stats. I mean, this is what we wanted the deck to do, was ramp out and play Badger Mole, Moose Lion, Koi. I think it was a bit of an anomaly last game that we felt like we didn't have any ways of winning. All right, well, I'll attack. And I'll play a Giant Koi. I wouldn't mind some card advantage. I mean, technically I can crack my South Pole Gates. But they might just go 1-for-1 with us for a while. I mean, this is a Rakdos deck after all. Okay, pretty tedious. Let's play the sentries. Do I waterbend? Yeah, probably. It's between waterbending. Yeah, I think let's do it. Like, it's between waterbending and sacrificing my land to draw a card. And I think cracking in for 6 is just really good here. I'll play this. No sense in holding it in my hand when they have Corrupt Court Official and the discard 2 potentially. This definitely, they could have a board wipe. All right, well, I'll eagerly just block with my Death Toucher. See what you got. I was anticipating, I don't know what first strike trick there might be, but I was anticipating something like that. All right, I gain 2 because of Cycle of Renewal. Do you have a removal spell? That would be annoying. Nope. Vindictive Warden, okay. Yeah, they're representing more damage than I am now because I cannot stop drawing lands. So something other than a land? Yeah, that's not a land. That's not a land. Okay, Forecasting Fortune Teller, and I have you on a 1-turn clock with this Koi, so, and with the Koi, bonk, play a land. I'm tapped down. I am tapped down completely. All my creatures, all my lands. Boiling Rock Prison, Deserter's Disciple, that's their last card, but they have a clue. No, they have a food. They have a food. You're not on a 1-turn clock. I thought this was a clue somehow, but of course it was a Canyon Crawler food all along. Yeah, should have noticed. I do have a good chump blocker, and I've done a good job, I think, of preserving my life total. Main phasing the 1 damage to me, sure. Okay, so first let's waterbend. Tap, tap, and tap. All right. Then let's crack the clue. Sure, that's a fine way to tap, I think. Yep, makes sense. Suki, oh, that's actually a nice draw. All right, in with the koi and the forest so that you have to block. Deserted Disciple has to block the forest. It just has to. Put you to 2. Forest comes back. Oh, you love a fast game of Magic. They don't happen so much in Avatar at this stage. I feel like I'm playing so many grindy games, which I don't hate. I mean, I like a slow, value-oriented game of Magic as much as the next person, as you can tell. But when every game is super slow, it definitely gets, it's a nice palate cleanser to have a fast, beatdown, rampy mid-range versus aggro kind of a match. Yeah, I don't hate it. I don't hate it. All right, we're 2-0 with our Katara the Fearless build-around deck. We didn't even need Katara the Fearless that game. She decided to sit that one out on the bench to rest up for the next match. All right, folks, what do we think about this hand? I'm curious. Tell me in the comments. What do you keep? I think the answer is no. We have nothing to do before turn 4. We can't even play Ong unless we get something else. I don't really want to be island cycling just to play an Earth Rumble Wrestlers. We have 3 of our colors, but not 4 of our colors. This is a much better hand. A much better hand. I'm going to keep 6. I'm going to put back a forest, and this shared roots on turn 2. It's still a little awkward. I wish I had an island to put Gran down. This is what I'm talking about, too many tap lands. Once you get past, I mean, even 4 tap lands which is what we're on, that's pretty risky. Once you get past that, you're going to be facing this kind of a situation a lot where you can't even play your absolute bomb on turn 1. Gran, MVP of the format for me as far as I'm concerned. I'm going to ramp out a plains because I have every other color. I don't have blue and red at the same time, which is a bit of an issue for me. Yeah, how much do I care about that? Probably I just want to fix. I just want to get the last color. Like, if I got in an island, I could double spell with either Katara plus Firebending Lesson or Katara plus Gran. So it's definitely a judgment call. Okay, I'm not gonna play into this quench. I'm just gonna play Gran. I don't really want to get quenched here, and then I'll play a forest. So even double spelling didn't matter that much. Okay, it was a giant koi pretending to be a quench. Love the unhinged lands. I love this art. Good job, John Avon. All right, if I can get a land, that's definitely getting Firebent. So let's try digging for a land. That's sort of a land, but not really. I'm just gonna put that back. I want an actual land, not a pretend land. Ugh, disgusting. If they blocked, I could Firebending Lesson it, but they wisely did not block. So then we'll play Earth Rumble Wrestlers. Not the best card ever, but it puts stats on the board. And by the way, it blocks 3/1 flyers. It has reach and 4 toughness. So lines up well against the Mechanists. They kind of do want to find an answer to that, I think. It might get pacifismed here. I wouldn't be surprised. These lands are so iconic. Probably just attack with both. I could have held on to the land, but doesn't make a difference as it turns out. I could have held on to the land though. I'm hoping that they spend a bunch of mana so that I can not have to worry about quench when I Firebending Lesson this guy. It looks like they're thinking about something interactive. Sandbender Storm. Okay, in response, zap you with the kicker. So goodbye to you. Amazing card. That card can just take games over completely all by itself. And now our non-creature spells cost 1 less, so that's kind of sweet. That's totally sweet. If I get a land, I can play Badger Mole and crack in with it. Glider Kids. Okay. Or not. That blocks 2/2s pretty well. That's the thing about Glider Kids. So they might have... Oh, I can play Ong, but I really feel like they might have Quench. So let's see if we can bait the Quench here. Essentially, I'm playing Badger Mole to bait the Quench. They might just have kept up for 2 for the clue. But that's okay. Now we know that they don't have Quench. So, very happy about that. I will not sack my Gran here. I mean, I guess they could draw Quench in the top 2 cards, but I'm not going to play scared around that. So our plan next turn is probably Ong and attack with everything because we get a loot out of Gran, and then if they block her, Ong is going to flip. They do have black for something, so they might have removal. The only removal we've seen from them is Sandbender's Storm. Okay, attacking. Interesting. Okay, I'm not going to play around Quench. I'm just not, because they didn't have it last turn. If they drew it in the last 2 turns, or if they drew it in the last 2 draws, you know, that such is life. Hoping this resolves, obviously, but okay. Phew. All right, let's see what we get. Oh, yeah. That's a sweet one. Yeah. Don't mind if I do grab a Dragonfly Swarm off the top. I don't hate it. And then I think I will attack with Gran. I don't hate the idea of looting here. And if they block Gran, I mean, they could also block the forest. And it would still trigger Ong. So if they block Gran, I do lose the discount on my non-creature spells. Yeah, I'll just pitch Seismic Sense, I think. Is Katara better than 1 mana plus the best card in the top 6? I think Katara is just really good here. And also buffing my Dragonfly Swarm is nice, yeah. Fancy footwork to kill Badger Mole. Oh, to kill 2 creatures. Wow. We got blown out. We got blown out. Oof, I got blown out. Okay. All right, I got blown out. Well, that fancy footwork was going to do work no matter what. I guess maybe the weird attack with Glider Kids could have tipped me off, but it wasn't that weird. It kind of made sense. It kind of read as just, oh, they're just trying to remain active. Okay, so we're going to start Earthbending, hopefully. Unless, I mean, if they have another Sandbender Storm, then this becomes interesting. Accumulate Wisdom could find your removal spell, yeah. It's not Ancestral Recall. I will absolutely trade Dragonfly Swarm for anything here. I would block... If they attack with both, I think I would block the Glider Kids with Dragonfly Swarm. Dragonfly Swarm would die to a Yip Yip, but I get my card back. So it's kind of a 2-for-1. Kind of. Katara. No way. Okay, I can feel this game flashing before my eyes. This card is essentially unbeatable. Yeah, this card is essentially unbeatable. I don't really think that you can beat Katara. I guess if I have a lot of chump blockers. Yeah, I don't really think that you can beat Katara, to be honest. I guess getting a ton of chump blockers is the way. So I'll attack with Dragonfly Swarm for sure. So they can make everything a 7/7. Yeah. I don't think I can beat Katara. It's just not going to happen. But let's see what we can do. Play my own Katara. I'm taking like 14 here. The question is, can I represent a lethal attack? So maybe it's actually Suki over Katara here. I do like the idea of drawing a card. If I can get Iroh's Demonstration, but that's currently somewhere on the bottom because I just saw it. And I've used my Firebending Lesson. Yeah. And Katara is one of these cards. Avatar, what a bomby format. Like, I'm winning these games entirely because of Ong at the Crossroads. My opponents, it's just, it's like rock, paper, scissors. Do you have a better bomb than Ong at the Crossroads? I like this format, but there are a lot of cards that I'm not going to be sorry to never see again when when this format goes away. And I definitely count myself as one of them with Ong at the Crossroads. As you know, one of the perpetrators of playing those cards. So probably let's play this. No, you know what? I actually think I have the pieces to do lethal damage. I just need to survive. I cannot take 21, so I'm going to have to block 2 different creatures here. This has vigilance, so they can actually make everything an 8/8. It's so cool. That's so cool. Yeah. No, I mean, and you know, usually the solution to bombs is like play more removal. But what am I, like, how much more removal am I supposed to play? I can make everything a 9/9 because Iguana Parrot also has vigilance. Yeah, it's like, how much removal? Okay, yeah, I actually die. How much removal do you have to play to like have removal up guaranteed when Katara comes down? Yeah. Yeah, the Mechanist plus Katara, that's gonna do it. That's gonna do it a lot of the time. So they found it off of Accumulated Wisdom. Yeah. Well-constructed deck by the opponent. Just play a bunch of draw. You find Katara, just play blue-white and a bunch of draw. All right, well, on to game 3. Okay, we're looking at this hand, which is a pretty bad one on the draw. It's a pretty bad one. But honestly, I don't think I mulligan this. I mean, I might just get aggroed out, but we have pretty good stabilization cards. Land is not what we wanted to draw, definitely, but, you know, it happens. Love the frog sleeves. This is so cool. Oh, what an awesome sleeve. That is awesome. I like that a lot. I like how it like stacks on the deck as well. Wow. I mean, I know I put a lot of 4, 5, and 6 drops in my deck. So yeah, that's the risk you take, obviously. I can turn 5 Ong at the Crossroads potentially, or turn 4. So it is end of turn 3. I cycle end of their turn, and okay, end of their turn 4. Technically, I cycle of renewal, and then actually I'm just gonna main phase this right now because they do not have Quench up. Very concerned about Quench. If they quench my cycle, it's kind of annoying. I'm hoping that they just play something here. Okay, I can get, yeah, Plains and Mountain, right? Plains and Mountain, and then I play an island next turn, not a forest, to liberate my airship engine room a little bit. Okay, so hopefully they just play something active here. If they don't, I'm going to try to bait Quench with Badger Mole again. If they do, we're Ong at the Crossroadsing. And hopefully we don't whiff. The thing about Ong is you do want another creature. You do want a board presence when you play Ong. I mean, it's fine as a 2-for-1 that has to get removed, but you do want opportunities to have a creature die. But, you know, the next turn we can play Badger Mole with 6 lands and we can crack in. It looks like they're holding up Quench. I mean, the way that they're tapping so deliberately here. I'm anticipating we play Badger Mole and it gets quenched. Okay. They tapped so carefully. Maybe I just play Earth Rumble Wrestlers to eat the quench, honestly. It's good enough to get quenched. Yep. Okay, let's just... And the other thing I can do is just play Shared Roots and not even give them a chance to quench anything. How hard is it going to be to leave 2 mana up forever? It's not like they're putting pressure on me. Then I would have to play Earth Rumble Wrestlers. No, then next turn I actually can play Ong anyways. So I do this, go up to 6 mana. I like this. We have the read on them. They're clearly representing Quench. So let's try to get some equity out of that successful read, as far as I can tell. And just not play into it. Just never give them a chance to quench. They need to show me some ally nonsense. They could play a land, or they could just not do anything here, and then I have to play around Soka's Haiku. Or there is no playing around Soka's Haiku. There's no such thing as playing around Soka's Haiku. You just get Soka's Haiku'd. So I can play Ong here. If I really want to be safe and bait a Soka's Haiku, I could play Earth Rumble Wrestlers or Badger Mole. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I could play Badger Mole. Fire Nation Warship. Sure. Okay, now I don't have to worry about Soka's Haiku. Okay, so it's just land Ong. And I can pay for quench. Because they have 4 mana up, not 5, so they can't play Soga Saiku. So down comes Ong. You may not quench me. You may not. No quenching. No quenching allowed. No quenching allowed. That quench is dead in your hand, my friend. It's not happening for you. They can Agnikella. They cannot activate Fire Nation Worship, but it doesn't really matter. Ooh. Oh, what a decision. What a decision. I kind of want wall top sentries. I mean, I know apparently we're a Katara Buildaround deck. I think wall top sentries is really good in this. Knowledge Seeker is whatever. It's good on turn 2, but on turn 7, I'm not so sure, or turn 6. And I kind of like how wall top sentries just blocks everything and is kind of built to die, which helps Ong flip. The problem with getting Katara here is, yeah, it's nice to have my abilities double, but it's not a good blocker. And I don't have anything that's going to die anytime soon, so it kind of have to be Katara that dies. All right, it looks like they might have removal for Ong, though. Maybe not. They're just going to activate Agnikella. Makes sense. All right, draw, discard. See what you got. They're going to have a lot of card selection. Just not another Katara, please. If it's the Katara that waterbends a million to make everything a million, then I'm going to be pretty sad. They are in Katara colors. That's the Katara that's better than my Katara. So it's pretty rude when my opponents have it. Okay, they discarded the plains. I wonder if they were thinking about discarding Quench. Or maybe they've just been tricking me this whole time and they don't even really have Quench. Sandbender's Storm does not kill Ong at the crossroads until it transforms, as we learned last game. If they attack with Fire Nation Worship, I'm going to be really suspicious if they have removal for that they have like Sandbender's Storm and they want the thing to flip so they can kill it. Pacifism is not good on this. Well, Pacifism and then the Exile ability would be. If you play a land, Pacifism and Exile it, that would do it. I don't really have a win other than that. I need to find something if they kill it. So probably what I want to do is just slam down Badger Mole, Earthbend something, and crack in with the land. And maybe also I crack in with the wall top sentries because it trades so nicely. That's probably correct. So I play Badger Mole. You cannot quench it. You could Soka Saiku. Is it Soka Saiku? No. I don't think it was so wrong of me. Ong Swift Savior. We're facing all the blue-white bombs today. Isn't that so funny? It was Ong Swift Savior all along. Isn't that so funny to face every blue-white bomb? And now you can quench. Now you can quench. Okay. Oh, I shouldn't have given them the chance. I miscounted. Forgot about Bender's Waterskin. Yep, my bad. Oh, I really blundered there, didn't I? Oh, I really blundered there. Yep, my bad. I forgot about Bender's Waterskin. I had the read the whole time, and then I just clumsily let them use their quench. Should never have cast anything when they had 2 mana up, and I didn't. I just thought that they didn't have 2 mana left. So they totally baited me there. Good job by them. They're scrying one every turn. Yeah, very good job by them. They just like totally tricked me by having Bender's Waterskin and some random land over here up when I only had 1 land up. So well done by them. Yep. Good job. No, I was supposed to just play Gran and then play the Badger Mole next turn. They got to trade Quench for a Badger Mole. That's probably game defining. I'm guessing that's the win for them and the loss for me. So too bad. But we fight on. Very, very, very bad play by me. Like horrible. That Quench was stuck in their hand the whole game and they were just staring at it with nothing to do. And then I just said, okay, well, why don't you get like a bomb? Not a bomb, but like 6 power that you would have had to worry about. Why don't you just take that for free? Why not? Just as a gift to you. But that's life. Sometimes you screw up. You just got to focus on how to not do it next time. Okay. So I'm going in with Wall Top Sentries and Gran because they can't block. And Earth Rumble Wrestlers is such a good blocker. and I get a loot out of this. I mean, maybe they can block. If they block, then I strongly suspect that they have a removal spell. Really bad draw, I would say. Yep. So cracking in for 3. This Ong only really works as an amazing overrun if they can get rid of my Ong. So I'll play my Earth Rumble Wrestlers, and then I have to play this land to have 4 mana to crack my engine room at the end of their turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You do not have enough. What's happening? What is this? There's no bite spell. What's happening here? I don't really get it. Oh, they're doing this to scry. Gain 1 and scry. Yep. Gotcha. Oh, I just feel so bad about throwing away my Badger Mole. I thought that they had 1 mana up. I thought this was what they were representing instead of Quench the whole time, that they had 1 mana up. So I said, why don't I just concede the game right here? Too bad. Always count your opponent's mana when you know that they have Quench. All right, what'll it be? I do feel that at the end of Avatar, it really collapsed into the most grindy bomb-based board states where it's like everyone has an A+ bomb, everyone has 1 A+ bomb, and then a bunch of like C+ or C level filler. And it's just about like who can find removal for the opponent's A+ bomb first. And meanwhile, you're spending like 20 minutes just just sitting there waiting with no one being able to really attack or anything. So with that in mind, like, is there a way to build decks to gain equity from that kind of a situation? Like, can you take advantage of the fact that everyone is kind of building around like a few very good cards to figure out a strategy? I guess like absolutely jam packing your deck with removal maybe is a way to get equity. Ugh, not what I want to see. Well, that's a nice one. That's definitely a nice one. I should have played my land first to get an extra counter on the Rumblers, or an extra power on the Rumblers. I think I can't attack with Rumbler because of that. So that was a mistake. That was a mistake. Should have played my land first. I will admit, just, you know, self-awareness, I tilted myself with the playing my Badger Mole into the Quench. That was just a self-tilting experience because I just knew that they had it the whole time. It feels so bad to then just run my card into it thoughtlessly, but that's okay. And here I just missed out on pushing a potential 4 damage. Okay, it looks like they have removal for my Ong. No, I thought they were about to block. All right, well, I'll play the Moose Lion. You do not have Soka's Haiku mana. And then I think I actually hold the land just to give them something else to block next turn. Let's play Raucous Audience. If you quench it, I accept my fate. And then next turn, I'm just playing my land and attacking with everything. The thing is, Ong transforming is not even that good for me. All right, so go ahead and scry or something. What a grind. What an absolute grind. At least Sabertooth Moose Lion has stats. At least the Moose Lion has got some stats on it, you know? All right, we're thinking about what they're scrying. That healer, what a slow card. They put 1 on top, which means they probably found removal for either the Moose Lion or Ong, because they're definitely, like, they have to show something here. This is a situation where I'm pushing damage every turn. I have the big beaters. Their Ong has huge potential, like it has a very high ceiling, but they can't spend a turn transforming it right now. Well, maybe they can, but I'm just pushing so much damage. So the fact that they put something on top means they have a removal spell, almost certainly. Or like a mega bomb of their own. Or it could be like one of those pseudo board wipes in white. All right, they're going to think for a while. Okay, they're getting ready to play a card. Potentially. Boomerang basics on the Ong so that you can airbend something. Okay, if that's what they kept on top, it makes sense to me because that makes perfect sense because you get to draw a card. You know, you get to look at something, and you get to airbend. So it's tempo and value. It doesn't exactly get you out of the situation, but what they can do is, if a creature of mine dies, they can airbend my Ong so that it doesn't transform. Although airbending Ong, as we saw in a previous game, is not necessarily the greatest route to success. So if they flash in Ong, I probably don't want to attack with Raucous Audience. I may still want to attack with Gran just to get like some value, just to get some card selection here. I'm not attacking with Ong, probably not attacking with Raucous Audience. I think it just makes it too easy for them to eat. Like, they can play their Ong, airbend something. Suppose I attack with everything except Ong at the crossroads. Then they play their Ong, airbend my Sabertooth Moose Lion. They can use Compassionate Healer, let's say, to crew this guy. And then they have a 2-3, a 2-3, and a 4-4 to block with, meaning they can kill Raucous Audience and Gran. Yeah. Okay, so let's start by Seismic Sensing. That's a good draw. If I have two cards that I like, then I'm not going to... Okay, they were concerned that I would like find something off of this that would affect them getting to play their Ong, I assume. Oh no, they're airbending my Seismic Sense? You don't want to airbend one of my creatures? Not my Sabertooth Moose Lion? I'm actually surprised by that. I wouldn't have expected that. Okay, so Dragonfly Swarm is not so good here. It will be a 3-3 once Seismic Sense resolves, so that's not amazing. Suki is really huge, but I actually think Katara is such a good way of converting my extra lands into value. I think I'm gonna go with Katara. Let's take the Katara. I mean, Suki's good because it's damage, but Katara can draw me so much stuff. I hate putting my firebending lesson on the bottom. So, do I play this? Yes, I'm going to play this. I'm going to go to attacks. And attack, attack, and attack. I think I hold back Raucous Audience on 1, 2, 3. This can tap for 2, so then I can go 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to draw a card. Yep, just going with these 3. Representing a lot of damage now. It's getting to the point where they probably do have to make some blocks. When you're playing Avatar in the late format, set your timer for like 30 minutes. You know, make sure you don't have to, to head out the door anytime soon. I do like this format. Maybe I should be drafting aggro. Maybe that's the thing, like to get equity. Whoa, what is this? What is this? No chumps or anything? Are they predicting that they can just like kill me on the crackback? I don't think that's gonna happen. Not easily. Right? Right? I guess they're representing a good amount of damage here. I go to 5. I mean, I'm not representing lethal next turn, so I'll keep my stuff back. I'm gonna want to be blocking Fire Nation Warship. Okay, 1 on the bottom. That's what we like to see. Yeah, I do like Avatar. Maybe what I should be doing is drafting aggro. Like, I wonder if Boros aggro or green-white aggro or something has gotten better as the format goes on, because it gets in under your opponent's bombs theoretically some percentage of the time. You know, we haven't seen what they're playing black for. It doesn't seem to be like common removal spells. It's not like we're seeing Sold Out, for example. I wonder if they have Raven Eagle. A lot of the black bombs are double black, though. Day of Black Sun, the Mythic Board Wipe, Rise of Sozin, Katara. So hard to do on the splash. So I wonder, yeah, Raven Eagle is probably the splashingest bomb in black. One of my opponents got me with that. They had the Rise of Sozin in the Winnabox event. They had the Rise of Sozin. All right, we got there. Okay. They had the Rise of Sozin where you can name a card, and they had seen that I had a black land. Oh, he hit platinum. How lovely. They'd seen that I had a black land, even though I was mostly in other colors, and they just correctly guessed that if I was playing a little bit of black, I was probably splashing Raven Eagle, and they correctly like named it. And it's when you search their hand, graveyard, and library, and you get to remove the card if you name the correct one. They named Raven Eagle, and they ripped it out of my deck, and that was totally awesome. totally awesome to see, like a galaxy brain play by the opponent that worked out perfectly. They were just like, if you're splashing black, it's probably Raven Eagle. Scrolls through, yoink, I got it. Yeah, that must have felt really good for them, and justifiably so. That's one of the reasons I play Magic. I love those kinds of, like, you know, it's super. It was a competitive event, and it super rewarded them having knowledge of the format. Love getting shared roots here. I will happily just grab a Plains, and then maybe instead of Dragonfly Swarm, we're actually going to plunk down Earth Rumble Wrestlers after our opponent's turn 2. That's kind of nasty. I respect the Wrestlers more and more. I mean, they did pretty much win me a box, 2 boxes of Avatar, so that's a reason to respect them. But I don't know, it's just like usually a 4/4 for 4 reach. It's not good. I'm not saying it's a good card, but it's a card that you can't ignore in a lot of sets. Okay, well, I'm not going to trade when I have Octopus Form up. This could be a bluff, but that's fine. I mean, it's so likely to be a Yip Yip. There's just absolutely no reason for me to block. Because Yip Yip would kill my Earth Rumble Wrestlers. It's not even a trade, actually. Non-basic lands enter tapped. That's fine. All of them do anyways. It's kind of painful here because I want to play the Swarm, but I also want to hold up Octopus Form. So I think what I do is I'll attack with Earth Rumble Wrestlers. This guy doesn't have first strike or anything, right? Yeah, I'll go in with the Earth Rumble Wrestlers. And then I'll play my Dragonfly Swarm. And I'm going to bait out this Yip Yip by blocking with the Swarm, I think. Because the Swarm reimburses me a card. So they can spend their Yip Yip, but I get a card back, and it means I can't play a 4-drop. All right, I'll get Yip Yipped. It happens to me. Actually, do I even? I don't like that they're scrying, but they're going to get to keep scrying, even if I block. So why don't I just take, and I'll just try to surprise them with Octopus Form. Or I'm going to block with a Giant Koi. I actually think I just take. They are getting to sneak through so much damage, but now that I have them pegged for Yip Yip, the consistent thing to do is... Okay, so if I play a land and they Yip Yip here, I can surprise them with Octopus Form and kill their Glider Kids. So play a land next, in with Earth Rumble Wrestlers. This is an inconsistent attack, so from the opponent's perspective, now they should see that I have a trick. Because they know that I have them pegged for Yip Yip. And so if they block the Earth Rumble Wrestlers with Glider Kids, I can see that Yip Yip would kill my Earth Rumble Wrestlers, meaning I must have something up my sleeve. So if the opponent respects me, they're not going to block. It's a disrespectful block. I'm kidding. It's not disrespectful. But if you think through the logic consistently, right, they can see that I know that they have Yip Yip, right? Because I've been not blocking this whole time. And I can count to 5, so I know that Yip Yip is going to kill my Earth Rumble Wrestlers. And again, I believe that they have it. Whoop, almost knocked over my coffee. From their perspective, I believe that they have Yip Yip, right? I've been not blocking for ages, clearly because I think they have Yip Yip. So in that situation, like, you need to think through. I think the opponent misplayed. No disrespect to them. I misplay all the time. You've seen me do it multiple times in this video. But I do think the opponent misplayed there. You need to think, and it's like a very chess-like skill where it's like you need to think, what does my opponent believe I have right now, right? Why is my opponent behaving the way that they are? I've been not blocking because I think they have a combat trick. The common combat trick that you would have in that situation is Yip Yip. Right. I kind of just want to play Giant Koi. I kind of just want to attack with everything and play a Giant Koi. I do respect the Water Tribe Rallier, but I actually don't get to kill it before they Waterbend anyways. So the problem with attacking with everything is they can double block Earth Rumble Wrestlers, and I don't love that. So actually, I think I just attack with Dragonfly Swarm and Knowledge Seeker. Trading off Knowledge Seeker is a bit awkward, but I don't have that much double spell enabling anyways. The Knowledge Seeker is mainly just a 2/1 that reimburses me for its death. They held back 2 probably because of Waterbend. Okay. They don't want to trade anything for this? Okay. I'm surprised surprised by that. I would have just expected block with Zhao and then activate Water Tribe Rallier, getting a creature, and you save this for when I play, I don't know, like a Giant Koi or for when my Earth Rumble Wrestlers attacks. So I'm kind of surprised by that. It does make me a little concerned. But that's the opposite of what you would do if you had a board wipe. So I'm not certain what the idea is here. This thing can't, it's not like Prowess where you can't block it with a 2/2. Like, it can only get one counter a turn because you can only draw your second card once a turn, right? Okay, so I'll play a land and crack a clue. And then I'm just going to go in with everything. Actually, let's not crack a clue. Yeah, cracking the clue is fine. I can still Firebending Lesson with Kicker if it matters, but the reason I was thinking there is I don't think it matters. Yep, just in with the team. Seems like a good move. I'm just representing a lot of damage here. Put a Conquer counter on it, and you can Blood Moon all my stuff. So they can shut down my my draw. It's kind of funny. That's kind of funny. So I'm hoping they do something like double block Earth Rumble Wrestlers, and then I'll just shoot one of their guys. Okay, this is fine. Yeah, nothing I can do about that. I accept. So I'm going to wait for them to activate the Water Tribe Rallier. Let's see if they leave up a white. If they do, they might have Yip Yip or enter the Avatar state. Okay, before... No. I want you to scry first. So this is really nice because it means that I can shoot this. Or you get to choose, right? You may reveal. So you do that first. I want them to do this first because if they believe they have a Water Tribe Rallier, they might take like a rare over if they see another Water Tribe Rallier. If I do it now, then they might have just put a Water Tribe Rallier on the bottom because they believe they already have one, right? Something like that. Some kind of logic like that. Giving them information that their Water Tribe Rallier is gone could absolutely affect what they choose. So it's good to make them make their decisions first. All right, yep, attacking with the Compassionate Healer makes sense. This is consistent even if they have nothing because they're at a high enough life total. They probably don't want to be chump blocking with Compassionate Healer. And anyways, they're about to play another Compassionate Healer that could chump block. So this doesn't necessarily mean that they have a trick. This is an attack that they would make no matter what. Down comes Compassionate Healer. It's like added zero information that they attacked. And then I'll crack this at the end of turn. Even though it's useful for waterbending, I think, yeah, we just want to draw. That's a sweet one. This time I'm not going to play it into a... I'm so scarred. I'm so scarred. Not going to play it into a quench. Put that on the engine room. Yep. I let the arena auto tapper do it for some reason, and it actually did a great job. Now the question is, would I rather have another fortune teller or just add some pressure? I think I have plenty of pressure going on here. So I think let's just attack with these two. I could be making this giant coin unblockable, but I kind of like the idea of just making them block everything. They're not playing like they have a board wipe, and they're not playing the sort of a deck that would have a board wipe. But even if they did, Forecasting Fortune Teller gives you change. If it dies, you got a card back. So, all right. Now I might start activating my Giant Koi because I have enough other attackers that they probably are going to have to block. I can double block their Compassionate Healer with Forecasting Fortune Tellers, so they can't even really get value out of my blocks. So I'm feeling pretty good here. I think they need something really good to turn it around. What would that look like? This is the part of the game where you need to think about, like, what counterplay could my opponent have? How would I lose? So like a Legend of Ryoku into some amazing stuff. The 4-mana red mythic that just flips over a bunch of cards and lets you play them, and then turns into an amazing guy that makes dragons. So let's start by I'm gonna tap, and tap to waterbend. I really want to start reducing their life total. Evasion is like a big part of my game plan here. That seems like a fine way to tap, yeah. So I draw a card. Ooh, that's a nice one. They don't have Corrupt Court Official. They're not in black, so Might as well do this. Attack, 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 attack. I'm the beatdown. I am the beatdown. I don't really care if you scry 2, gain 2 at this point. Appa Steadfast Guardian. Yo. That's okay. That's a great card. That's a great card. A very surprising card. So what's the goal of airbending these? You get to make 1/1s. Okay, I think that's fine. And you kill my Dragonfly Swarm, but I get a card back for it. And you take 7. Okay, I think that's okay. If I had a non-land, if I had an instant, I could have traded in that situation, but I didn't, alas. Okay, so you're gonna get a bunch of 1/1 blockers, but I think even if you play, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you'll have 5 blockers. Yep, actually, I can't get through on the ground. Too bad for me. So sad. Cave of Two Lovers. That's a bunch of blockers. When you cast a spell from exile, so you don't get another 1/1. So you have 5 blockers still. Okay. So, yeah, you only need 4 blockers. Yeah, I guess it makes sense. So you haven't seen Ong at the Crossroads, so you don't know what I have up my sleeve here. I'm definitely just going to slam that down. Let's get, sure, I guess Gran for card selection. Play this, waterbend this guy. And in with the team. I don't think I'm facing a lethal attack or anything, so I feel like they're going to have to make some trades, and Ong is going to flip. Yep. Blocking Badger Mole, blocking the 2/2. Okay, so I get that guy back. I'll kill a 1/1. Arena, why why does it make these suggestions? It's like, would you like to not kill either of their creatures? I think that would be good for you. It's so funny. All right, Ong is going to flip. Land comes back. Ong gets 2 flip triggers even without Katara doubling my stuff. Ong is so good. It's so good. But I feel like I was well ahead in this game anyways. Really, it's Giant Koi. Giant Koi is the MVP of the match. All right, that's another win for us. I think we're 4-1 now. Just dropped a game to the Katara waterbending monster. So let's see if we can keep this streak running. We haven't seen our Katara the Fearless in a while, so hopefully we can do some more cool build-around shenanigans. On to game number 6. All right. It's a good hand, right? That's a good hand. Cycle of Renewal can find me planes for Katara, and the Katara doubles the Gran triggers. Katara build around. Let's go. This is the unlimited splash that you deserve. I have so many cards that look like this. I love those sleeves. I really want to get them. But I actually think I would still stick with the sweet Ice Age box sleeves. I do have an Ice Age box that actually looks like this, so it is truly nostalgic for me. Iroh's Demonstration looking good if they play more 1 toughness creatures. We'll see. We'll see. It at least goes 1 for 1 right now. That's a 1 toughness creature, yeah. Yeah, pitch a forest. Pitch a forest. Another 1 toughness creature. Come on, if you play another 1 toughness creature. No, Heartless Act. That's such a Heartless Act. Now, the question is, I kind of want to just play Iroh's Demonstration. I mean, Cycle of Renewal is awesome and all. But just killing their stuff, isn't killing your opponent's stuff good? Mainly, I want to deprive them of the ramp. I like the idea of them not having 5 mana this turn. And I have more removal. It's partly because I got the... Let's see. It's partly because I had Firebending Lesson that I did that. This is spot removal for something bigger. Now the question is, do I play Suki here? Then I can try to draw a plains. Yeah, I think Suki's good just on the board on its own. It's going to be a 2/4 that makes a 1/1. It's not like an amazing card, but okay, Badger Mole. Yeah, sure. So now I want a land. It's not a land. That's not a land. I really want to cycle, don't I? I really want to cycle. Okay. Yeah. I think no attacks and end. Now, they have to play something else or keep their Badger Mole back. They'll probably play something else. These lands are so sweet. Okay, yeah. So they no longer have to keep Badger Mole back. They can just attack with both and nothing can really punish them. I do want to get down. Oh, nice. Okay. I do want to get Katara down. So I want a plains for sure. I do want to get Katara down to double Suki's ability. That just seems really cool. Shared roots is kind of a good one. So do I show them Katara is the question? Maybe not. Maybe let's not show them Katara just yet. So maybe play this guy and play a shared roots. Shared roots is, this is past the point where shared roots is any good, unfortunately. I don't know how good Katara doubling Suki is. Right now, it would just throw a whole bunch of 1/1s into the meat grinder, unfortunately. But okay, let's get a... I was short on green. Let's get a green. Next, no attacks end. At least I have Firebending Lesson. I have some power. I have Firebending Lesson. Knowledge Seeker and Airship Engine Room can both get me cards in the long run. They can each turn into a card. Foggy Bottom Swamp turns into 2 cards, though, so it's not exactly card advantage for me. I like the power of my deck, so I'm not feeling too scared here. All right, my turn. Oh, yeah. I mean, that's a pretty good one. Yeah, maybe just play this guy. Maybe just play this one. And then next turn, play Katara. And then the turn after, Firebending Lesson the Death Toucher. And attack with not quite everything. Okay, I like that they're digging. But they probably have a lot of removal. I'm not surprised if they're looking, if they have like 6 removal pieces and they're just looking for one of them here. I would not be surprised. Oh. Okay. So I think I just play Katara and then... I mean, I want to Firebending... Maybe yeah, that's probably what I do. Play this. At the end of their turn, I'm going to Firebending Lesson their Walltop Sentries. And then play Katara on my turn and then attack with Suki and the Moose Lion. Is this a removal spell? Looks like it might be. This is a food from the Cabbage Merchant. So, oh, are you going to fix yourself? Are you looking for blue or something? That would be tedious. Okay, no. They did want another land. Oh, is it Day of Black Sun? It might be Day of Black Sun. This might be Day of Black Sun. No? It's not. So what was the point of getting the other land? They're really like, I don't need tutus. Their attitude is very funny to me. They're just like, if it has less than... It's like the typical green stompy attitude, right? If it's less than if it has less than 3 power, I don't want it. no like disrespect. I think it's actually really funny. I will Seismic Sense, and I totally relate. I love playing green stompy decks, actually, as you can kind of see from what I've put together here. Forecasting Fortune Teller with Katara, that's one of my favorite things to do. Badger Mole is fun and all, but why don't I get 2 clues? So play Katara. I get priority, so I can play this fortune. Oh, no, but you can respond to the Fortune Teller on the stack by killing Katara. All right, double the clues. Katara Buildaround. Oh, yeah. That is the stuff. Let's go. Make 2 1/1s. The Katara the Fearless Buildaround deck. Let's go. Let's go. We didn't even know until pack 3 that that's what we were doing. Okay, you get a counter on something. That's fine. Are they flooded? They might be flooding out a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I guess my opponent flooded out, actually. Now that I look at it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. To 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 9. And they did fetch 1 land, but... Yeah, I wonder if their thinking with the Cabbage Merchant was like, I'm so sick of getting lands. What is this? Oh, they're on the awesome Buildaround? What is this? No way. No way. Oh, I'm so jealous. I wish I'd found this. No way. You're kidding me. That's so awesome. Okay, tap 2. You gain 2. They deserve the surprised face. Tap 2, you gain 2 life. When a non-token creature you control enters, put a +1 on it and you draw a card. Oh, that's what I want to be doing. Come on. Come on, forget this Katara the Fearless silliness. I want to build around the Great Henge. No, my opponent is a legend. That's awesome. That is awesome. Okay, I'm just going to keep digging. I have a lot of ways of triggering the second draw here. No, that is so cool. Huge respect to my opponent. What a gamer. What a gamer. Well, I'm just going to go in with my boring little Suki and my boring little Moose Lion. Wow, what a gamer. Good job. That's so cool. I wish I was as cool as my opponent. That's what I was trying to do. I was like, give me something awesome off the bonus sheet. This long thing is going to get chunky. Because a bunch of stuff is... Well, one card dies. Dang. Oh, I feel inadequate in the face of the greatness. This is so cool. So you're going to get... You gain 2 every turn no matter what. And then you draw a card every time you draw a creature. So with your 8 lands, if you draw a creature, you can just rip in creature into creature. You can just keep continually rip creature into creature into creature. That's so cool. Wow. That's what I want to do. Yep. Yeah. So you get that back, play it, draw a card, and it gets a counter on it. No way. Oh, that's so cool. Why did they do this during their turn, though? That's something that I'm not understanding. Yeah, put a counter, draw a card. Oh, it has to be attacking. Yeah, I absolutely double block that. I don't want you to do this over and over again. They might have a pump spell. It's the risk that we take. Like, they want to do this. If they didn't find a creature, then they would want to make this attack no matter what. So, all right, they didn't kill my Knowledge Seeker to deprive me of the card. Wow. Kudos to my opponent. This is awesome. And here I thought I had the game in hand, but they're just going to go... They're just going to go bonkers here. Diley Agents, put a counter. Yeah? Oh my goodness! Oh, no. This doesn't enter. These ones don't enter. Earthbending doesn't trigger it. Because they're not... It's not an enters ability. Or it's not an entering creature. Let's do that, I guess. Oh, Giant Koi might work here. Giant Koi might be the answer for me. So I play this. Play a Shared Roots, I guess. Do I want Shared Roots over a Katara draw? Probably. I can attack with Suki. Is this going to gain them life? No. But this is going to gain them life. So I don't even know what to do. I think I might be toast. What a gamer. That's awesome. What a build around. Yeah. So they do have to draw a creature, but the moment they just keep wheeling creatures into creatures, right? Oh, Fire Navy Trebuchet. Yeah. I think it's curtains for us. I mean, it's an honor to lose in this way. So awesome. That's what I want to do. Just decks that you've never even seen before. Things you never even knew were possible in Avatar. So I need to make some blocks. I need to make some good blocks here. Okay, I'll definitely be blocking Diley Agents because it drains me. How much did it just drain me for? Because of the Banyan Tree. Banyan Tree puts a counter on everything, so then Diley Agents is draining for 1 million. Holy cow, this is awesome. All I can do is admire. And they have a food. Good game. You got me. Yep, that'll do it. They're at 18 now, piece of Diley Agents. Oh, that was so cool. I'm so jealous. Awesome work by the opponent. They just made a green-black beatdown deck. I feel like one more turn and we were pretty much there. They drew it like exactly on time. Yeah. Well done by the opponent. They were just like, let's just put as many stats in this deck. Take the Banyan Tree and then just put as many stats in this deck as possible. I personally might have favored something that can draw because, again, when you're doing a build around, you need to see the card that you're building around. Their deck was not performing until they found their build around card, and they got unlucky to not draw it until then, but then lucky to draw it before I just crushed them. So you do need some card selection when you're doing that much of a build around. But hey, props to them. It worked. You can't argue with success, right? They played it when they needed it and they beat me. So no, that was awesome. What an honor. I mean, isn't that kind of thing so much more fun than just like the average game of the format at this point? That was so cool. I want that person to make a stream or to post videos, and I want to see that from their perspective. All right, I cannot play Earthrumble Warriors because I got rid of my guy. So I guess it's just Plains. Seismic Sense? No, maybe I don't Seismic Sense. I think, well, okay, let's go in with Gran. Okay. Yeah, I kind of want to save Seismic Sense to like rip Ong off. The point of Seismic Sense is to find my bomb, right? But I do also have 2 Seismic Senses. How much better than Cycle of Renewal is it here? Maybe it's just not. Raucous Audience plus Seismic Sense into Earth Rumble Wrestlers. Otherwise, Cycle of Renewal having 5 lands next turn would mean Earth Rumble Wrestlers plus Seismic Sense for 5, and then Raucous Audience after that. It does sound better, doesn't it? I'll keep the forest and pitch the island. Yeah, that was a lot of thinking, but I think this is correct. We're not getting beaten down here, so I think I'd rather have more lands for Seismic Sense and turn it into an Ong. If you can find Ong off of Seismic Sense, like get down to like 25 cards and then Seismic Sense for 8, then there's like a 1 in 3 chance that you're just going to find Ong right there and then. Crack the forest, I suppose. Find a forest in an island. Draw a card. Play a land. Untapped land. Let's Seismic Sense right now, I think. And play Earth Rumble Wrestlers. Do I attack with Gran? Kind of don't want them to have a 4/4 flyer. Although Earth Rumble Wrestlers would trade with it. Yeah, kind of don't want that. Are they stuck on 3 lands? It seems like it. Okay, I'm going to Seismic Sense. I think it's time. This is the moment. Oh, we found Ong anyways. That's pretty nice for us. We do have to reveal it the turn before we actually get to play it. I'll play Earth Rumble Wrestlers. I think it's wasteful to lose the Gran here because if we lose it when Ong is out, then we get to flip Ong. They do now know to save their removal for Ong. But hey, Ong has an ETB. That's why Ong is so good. If they equip the Glider Staff and attack, I'm not going to block. But I suspect they, I think they were stuck for a turn on 4. So I suspect that's not what's going to happen. Oh, maybe it will now. Maybe it will now. Or maybe they'll equip the Glider Staff but not attack. Tools of War getting a 1/1 makes sense. Yep, that makes sense. Okay, let's start off with Ong. It's just a pretty good card. Oh, whiffing. Oh, so bad. It's so bad. Buff our Rumblers. Gran attack. I can lose a mountain, yeah. I have a red source, so Iroh's demonstration would be good here, but okay, that's fine. So they have a removal for Ong, is what they're telling me. Yeah, they're telling me that they have a removal spell for Ong. That's fine. I mean, I'm going to follow it up with a Sabertooth Moose Lion. Ong's probably getting sold out here, I'm guessing. Could be Heartless Act, could be... Okay, Fire Nation Drill is a very good one. That is a very good one. Yeah, it's looking really, really bad for us, actually, because they can just have removal. So we really are kind of putting all our eggs in one basket. This might be the end of the line. Let's see how it goes. I think I probably do play the second engine room. But yeah, this is looking terrible for us because all they need, they're in black-white. All they need is a single, one more removal spell, and they're just cracking in for 6 every turn. There's a sold out, activate the Fire Nation Drill. I'm down to 13, and we're in some major trouble. They can put Glider Staff on Fire Nation Drill, so this is probably the end of the line. Whiffing with Ong was so bad. It was so bad. But okay, I mean, we're not dead yet. Play Knowledge Seeker in with Gran, draw a card, get a discount, pull land off the top, don't mind if I do, put a counter on the Knowledge Seeker. Okay, Dragonfly Swarm gives me a little bit of hope because it is a flyer that can block the Fire Nation Drill after they suit it up with Glider Staff. Having said that, number one, they're in like the ultimate removal colors. They could sold out and pay the ward, for example, because they have 5 mana. Number two, it doesn't even have 3 power, so and it would need 4 power to successfully block the drill. Okay, I think they probably should just have kept beating down with the drill. I'm not sure that this was the right thing to do, but I'll take it. Okay, that's a really good one. That is a really good one. That is a really good one. So probably, let's see. So if I were to crack this, so now what we definitely want to do is save firebending lesson for the drill, which means what do we want to do in the meanwhile? Probably I attack with Knowledge Seeker. The question is, do I attack with Gran? It throws away the Gran. I think attacking with Knowledge Seeker is not so good because I want to have mana up for the drill. So let's just try not to get beaten down here. So bonk in for 2 and end. I think it's just too wasteful of the Knowledge Seeker because I can always buff it a little. All right, come on. We can fight our way through this. We can fight our way through this. Like Iroh's Demonstration is going to be really good in this matchup, for example. I'm surprised they're not equipping the Glider Staff. Compassionate Healer. Okay, end of turn, I'm just going to crack... Oh, are you going to attack? No. By the way, they can remove the ward ability. No, hexproof. They can't remove the ward ability. I was like, they can remove it, but it's the same as just paying it because it still costs 1. Iroh's Demonstration. Yeah, that's a good one. So with Iroh's Demonstration, though, I don't really have that many good creatures left. Do I want to do 1 to everything, or do I want to just shoot Azula? I think maybe I just shoot Azula. The thing is, though, that's not that great. That's not that great. So this can tap for 1, meaning, but I really need to keep my red free. So let's try to get a creature. Katara the Fearless versus... Katara the Fearless does essentially nothing for me here. So I think it's Katara Bending Prodigy. Let's grab this. It's going to be so obvious if I don't play this that I have something up my sleeve. So I wonder if I just Iroh's Demonstration now. Oh, all my stuff got a discount. So I can play this for 4 now, I think. I think that's how that works. But maybe I just Iroh's Demonstration Azula to get an extra power on Dragonfly Swarm and lower their clock by 1. That kind of makes sense to me. Play Katara. I'm not so scared of Fire Nation Drill now. I guess I could have hit Compassionate Healer. I mean, knock on wood, like, I'm not saying I'm unscared of Fire Nation Drill. Let's be real. Maybe I do attack with the Knowledge Seeker. Maybe I play Katara. And then I can attack with Knowledge Seeker. Basically, I think I am in the driver's seat. One, two, three, four, 5. Sad that I cannot activate Katara and get an attack in. Oh, no, I can. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes. Okay. So I attack with Dragonfly Swarm, and then I can activate Katara at the end of their turn and get an extra card. Basically, I just don't think I'm dying next turn, and I have them on a pretty short clock here. So I'm saving my Firebending Lesson for next turn, because if I didn't develop here, it would just be so obvious that I have something because I didn't play the Katara. So I could have just not played Seismic Sense, but I kind of like the idea of being very aggressive. Really scares me that they put something on top because they're kind of on the back foot, but it's a very shaky situation. So that means they found a solution. Hopefully not Rise of Sozin. They just hit 6. No, actually they were at 6 before. Hama. So you can shoot one of my creatures. Oh, why do you do this to me? So now I have no way of dealing lethal. Hama is so good here. You shoot Dragonfly Swarm. How many ways of winning do I even have left now? You just waterbend Iris demonstrate. Really? Wait, couldn't I have? Oh, they took it out, so I can't activate it. I should have activated Katara in response. Except not really. I kind of want to have blockers here. But why did they do that? I don't understand that. Oh, they were counting on Hama to... They're counting on having a flying blocker. Okay, I'm going to attack with Grand, Knowledge Seeker, and Dragonfly Swarm. Yep. So first I'm going to Firebending Lesson the Hama so that I'm sending 3 damage through. Then they're going to crew up the Fire Nation drill with that. Tight game. What a tight game of Magic. So I'm going to Firebending Lesson Hama for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Leaving back 4 mana with which I can play Walltop Sentries. Attack with everything. They get to eat Gran with a Fire Nation drill. But they can't attack. Well, they can attack with the Fire Nation drill and then re-equip the Glider. But I think that gets chancy for them. So I'm going to start with this so that I can sneak through my Dragonfly Swarm. I think that's really important. But Walltop Sentries could block the drill, you know. You're going to crew up your drill. Makes sense. Yep. So I shoot that. It goes away. I get a 5 Power Swarm. Next. I think it is time to attack with Gran. Is it? Maybe wait 1 more turn? But they would have to double block Knowledge Seeker. So what would they do? Yeah, they would double block Knowledge Seeker, block Gran, crew the drill. Yeah, no, let's just not get into that nonsense. Gran will go in next time. I'll just go in for 5. And then this was a pretty good drop. It gives me more life, and it blocks their flyer, whatever they equip the Glider Staff to. It kind of means... Before, I was worried that they would just put the Glider Staff on the drill. Ugh, this Compassion Healer does so much work. Before, I was worried they would just put the Glider Staff on the drill and attack, and then re-equip the Glider Staff to something as a blocker. Now they can't really do that. They don't get damage to that way. They can only put it on as a blocker because Walltop Sentries can block whatever they attack with as a flyer. Unless they found a removal spell. But their first priority is probably to remove the Swarm, not the Walltop Sentries. What a close game. This is another situation where it matters that Hama does not exile whatever card they got to play. Fire Nation Drill is just one of those cards that you just almost never beat. It's another one of those bombs that's just like, well, I feel like I can deal with every other card in the deck just fine, but then Fire Nation Drill is just, it's just there. Ong is kind of like that too, but whiffing with the Ong kind of meant it wasn't so great. Because it just, like, you play it down, it does nothing, and then it gets sold out. Awesome. It's not exactly game defining. Yeah. Tutu Flyer? Now that's interesting to me because I would have thought you would want to trade with Dragonfly Swarm. I actually would have thought you would want to trade with the Dragonfly Swarm. I'm not sure I understand that. Why wouldn't you put it on like the merchant? I don't quite get it. I'm going to crack the engine room rather than throwing Gran into the meat grinder. Not to be too vivid with that, I'm sorry. Don't, yeah, forget I said anything. They are in Corrupt Court official colors, so maybe I hold on to this land. Kind of do want to attack with Knowledge Seeker. I really want to put the pressure on. I love the idea of Giant Koi, though. That is a nice draw for me. That is a nice draw. So next, in with both, gives me a clue to sack. Actually, because it gives me a clue, I think I can play the land. Worst case scenario. So they're going to like double block maybe with this and the land. I think that's okay. Is it? Do I just want a huge Knowledge Seeker? Maybe I just want a huge Knowledge Seeker. Because this Knowledge Seeker, it only gets better with age, right? I don't know. I think getting rid of their creatures is pretty good. I think getting rid of their creatures is like a big deal for me. But the Knowledge Seeker, it cannot trade with Beetle-Headed Merchants, so I think this attack is good. I really want to just get rid of all of the stuff that they have lying around. If I can reduce their board, so they have to chump block there, and double walking there makes sense. If I can just reduce their board a little bit, then it's really hard for them to crew Fire Nation Drill. They have to eventually start blocking with Compassionate Healer, and the Compassionate Healer is doing massive work for them. I guess I could have also attacked with wall top sentries. It might have been awkward for them to figure out how to block. One on top, really? That makes me so sad. That makes me so sad. Well, Giant Koi is a lethal attacker whenever I get to play it. One on top, you say? That does make me sad. Because that sounds like they found a removal spell. It could be something to sack. I guess best case scenario for me, they found something to sack to make a bunch of 1/1s. It's probably not that, I'm guessing. Maybe it is. Maybe it is because they didn't really think about it, but maybe they just intuited like, okay, that's all that I need. Okay, well, this is an obvious block for me. Yeah, maybe they just intuited that that's all that they need. Yeah, well, I can't be taking 6 every turn, obviously, so just block with wall top sentries. Yeah, and now Dragonfly Swarm is not even a lethal attacker. Yeah, this game, ever since they played Fire Nation Drill, it's just a huge uphill battle. If I win, it's a miracle. It's an absolute miracle if I win. Gain 2 at least. Like, Fire Nation Drill is just a 7 power flying attacker. Yeah. Looks like they found a removal spell too, I think. I think they highlighted my Dragonfly Swarm there. Tense situation, but once the opponent lands Fire Nation Drill, it's pretty much game. Dragonfly Swarm gets airbent. I guess I could have not killed the Hama and traded off the Swarm a long time ago. That doesn't feel like that would have been the right move, though, you know, to be honest. I'm surprised they're not equipping this glider staff. I'm actually really confused. I'm actually totally bewildered by that. I don't really get it. Why aren't they attacking with the glider staff? I actually don't get that. There's something I'm not understanding here where it would be bad for them to do that. I can't really see it, though. Shared roots. Silly. Okay, so play Giant Koi. Play the Giant Koi, tap Rocket's Audience for 2 to play the Dragonfly Swarm. It's still not quite lethal. And then get another power on my Dragonfly Swarm and another... I guess I could have slow rolled this so that they're not sure if Dragonfly Swarm is lethal, but I don't think they're going to be taking Dragonfly Swarm attacks. Horrible cards left. Yeah, I don't know how I'm going to pull this out. It's not looking good. I do have Giant Koi. Giant Koi is a must answer. It's true that Giant Koi is a must answer. But putting... Well, I guess the way I get out of this is Dragonfly Swarm actually blocks the Fire Nation Drill, and then I just dare them to find a removal spell for Giant Koi. 1 on the bottom. Okay, I'm relieved. I guess they probably put Airbending Lesson on top. That makes sense. More sense than if they put Merchant of Many Hats on top. Yeah, okay, so if they crew up the Fire Nation Drill and put the staff on it, I'm going to block it with Dragonfly Swarm. And then we're putting all of our eggs in one basket, the Giant Koi basket. Oh, man, you had another Hama? Yeah. Nothing about their deck scares me except Fire Nation Drill. And double Hama is just nice support for it. But Fire Nation Drill is like... I'm not sure if I pretty much have ever beaten that card. Maybe I'm just building wrong in some way. Maybe I need to be playing... Yeah, I guess the Destroy Target Artifact is like a great card, actually. That's how you get not Fire Nation Drilled. So the way that we win here is they're going to Iris Demonstration this. I'm going to draw a card. They have us on a 2-turn clock by crewing up the Fire Nation Drill. So they're actually winning. I have to draw... I actually don't know if there's a card in my deck that does it. Right? I actually don't know if there's a card in my deck that does it. Because they're going to crew up the Fire Nation Drill and crack in for 7 in the air. That puts me to 7. So I have 1 turn to find an answer. I can get in with Giant Koi. but that puts them on 2 life, and then they can just crack in for 7 in the air next turn. And I actually don't think either of my remaining cards does it. All right, crewing up the nation drill. I put it on top. Well, putting it on top means they found an answer. Yeah, I don't know. So I guess I was supposed to save the firebending lesson for Fire Nation drill. Too bad. Too bad. What do I have left? Like 2 forecasting fortune tellers. Pretty inglorious run. Like, I really wanted to build around something and I didn't get to. The last game was awesome. That was amazing. Them playing Hamas to get removal spells out of my deck is pretty brutal. Yeah. I just needed that game. I had multiple answers to Fire Nation Drill, but I spent them on other cards because I guess it's Glider Staff is the other issue. Like, if they hadn't had Glider Staff, they wouldn't have been able to give the Drill Flying. Yeah. Okay, well, hey, what can I say? That was an incredibly grindy series of games. We pretty much broke even on gems, so I can't be too sad. It wasn't the Buildaround that I promised. Yeah, I'll probably just try again to do another Buildaround. If that sounds fun to you, please stick around for that. I do post a new draft video every single day. And until next time, have fun playing Magic, everyone, and don't be afraid to splash.